Hello everyone, welcome to The Social Doctor, and this is Dr. Ayushi. The Social Doctor is a platform for the doctors by the doctors, where we discuss journeys, experiences, and knowledge from successful medical practitioners. And today we have Dr. Gautam Pipara with us. He is a consultant urologist and an andrologist in Sterling Group of Hospitals in Gandhidham. He, after doing his MBBS, did his MS and MCH in urology, and now got placed in Gandhidham and is doing successfully, is doing really well with his practice. So let's ask him, why did he pick up general surgery when now these days, medical, after MBBS, it's very, people really, do not want to pick that subject because they think that super specialization is really important with the same. How can a MBBS student, after picking up general surgery, can practice general surgery and do really well for himself? So welcome, doctor, to the platform.
Thanks.
It's really
Good
nice
morning.
to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here. Good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Gautam Pipara, and as Dr. Ayushi has already mentioned, I have done my MBBS and MS from MS Ramaya Medical College, Bangalore. Then I was working there for some time, and then eventually I joined my MCH at St. John's, Bangalore, and I've completed my MCH in urology, andrology, renal transplant from St. John's. So yes, what question you have picked up today is actually a very important question. Nowadays, the trend is that people tend to, take a backseat when it comes to general surgery. So I will like to stress something from the core point where I realize that there are a lot of people who do not do internship. So post MBBS, especially in many places in Northern India, there is a trend that you do not do internship. Your internship goes on paper and you sit and study at home, and then you eventually clear your PG exams and take it. And then when you're deciding your subject, it generally goes by the word of mouth. There are a lot of people who will say, "Arey yaar, ENT relay, ENT is an end branch, ortho is an end branch, radiology is a 9 to 5 job, that is an end branch." And you will tend to fall for it because you have eventually not worked in the department. So what I realized was that internship was a game changer in what in life. I decided I wanted urology when I was in internship. So we had almost a 2 months ka posting in general surgery, out of which 1 month I worked in general surgery, which I enjoyed. I like doing, I had the adrenaline rush when it came to emergency for suturing or maybe, emergency laparotomies. So if you are getting that adrenaline rush in yourself when you're working in the emergency as a resident, as an intern, then you realize that, nahi yaar, this surgery is my cup of tea. And if you find that koi case aata hai yaar kya ho gaya ye, you don't feel like going for it, then you realize that no, surgery is not your cup of tea. Moreover, when I had my super specialty posting for 15 days in MBBS, that is when I worked in urology, and I realized that it is really a high-tech branch with evolving technologies, endoscopic surgery. So I developed my love for urology then. So the first point is that internship is important, and you must do your internship. Work in various departments so that you will realize what you like, and more importantly, what you don't.
Yes, that's definitely, very, very correctly said. Internship is one of the very important parts of doing the graduation in medicine, because that helps you to understand what is actually going to come in the outside world, and to understand your interests, as he just mentioned. That's very important. So as you already mentioned, you picked up general surgery, why did you do it and everything. So now, after picking up general surgery, these days, people think that general surgery is, difficult, because they think that they have to go for super specialization, as I just mentioned. Now when you're telling them that they have to pick up general surgery, what are the prospects and opportunities after that? Once they pick up, isn't it that only super specialization will help them? Is it that they can actually have a great future just after that?
Yes. See, there are two lot of people who take up general surgery. There is one lot who actually like general surgery and they want to continue with general surgery. So that's absolutely fine with it. Like, I had developed my love for urology during internship. So I already had my mind fixed that I want to super specialize. So general surgery is basically a long road to go. So you should not look for early returns. The rewards are pretty late. So once you have that set in mind that the rewards are going to come in late, you will not have that crib in mind that my engineering friend to itna kama raha hai, my MBA friend to itna kama raha hai. So you should not have all that. So if we take up people who want general surgery, now we can divide them into two categories, like people, number one, who want to do a super specialization, and those who don't want to do a super specialization. So people who want to do a super specialization, if they know what they want to super specialize in, it's fine. And second thing is that after finishing general surgery, suppose they do not know what they want to super specialize in. So this is the lot that has done general surgery and is now confused as to whether to means they want to super specialize, but they do not know the specialty in which they want to super specialize.
Yes.
So now again, if you have worked in all the departments, like I was in MS Ramaya, so I had worked in urology, I had seen neurosurgery, plastic surgery, pediatric surgery, oncosurgery. So I realized that no, oncosurgery, there's a lot of morbidity. I don't enjoy it. I realized that neurosurgery is about a lot of ICU work and seeing a lot of patients in vegetative state with good outcome, of course. But then I realized it was not my cup of tea. So eventually, if you have worked in all of these, you will know that what you have developed a liking. And that last bit of confusion can be removed if you have proper seniors who will counsel you. You can go to the department ka PGs or their HODs and you can talk to them that, sir, I want to do this particular subject. So talking will help you out.
Yes.
And the second is that if you have done general surgery from a government institute in where there are not all the super specialties, so that time you will have a difficulty because you have not been exposed to those super specialties itself. So if you are not exposed to urology, you're not exposed to pediatric surgery, you're not exposed to what a plastic surgeon is doing, you're not exposed to free flaps, then you have a difficulty. In that case, I would suggest that such people should decide what they want, go to the department, work for 3 to 6 months and decide whether they love it, because you are going to do it for the rest of your life. So you should not end up taking something which you don't like, and so you will keep on throughout your life. So when you are not exposed to a subject which you want to super specialize in, please go and work in that department in any good place for 3 to 6 months and see whether you are liking it. Now, the second lot is that people who have finished general surgery and they don't want to super specialize. बहुत पढ़ाई हो गई, अब पढ़ाई नहीं करनी है. So now they again have two options. Now, whether you want a corporate like of practice, like an institutional practice, or you want a private practice. So when I mean institutional practice or a corporate practice is that you are either joining a medical college, so where you are an assistant professor, eventually become an associate professor and your ranking keeps on increasing, or you are joining a corporate group like Apollo or Fortis. You can join those groups. So in those places, it's basically a teamwork. The salary is okay. Your life is comfortable. You are educationally and academically inclined. You always have help at hand. If you want to do private practice post general surgery, you can go into two places. You can settle in the rural area or you can settle in the urban area. Now, if you want to settle in the urban area and do private practice, it is going to be really difficult because it's going to be very, very competitive. Actually, my father is also a general surgeon. So we have seen that times that were 20 years ago and times that are now are drastically different. So as a general surgeon, settling immediately after MS general surgery into a metro city, doing your own private practice is difficult because you will have to build your name, and there will be a lot of general surgeons who will be already sitting there who have practiced for so many years. They have earned their name, earned their fame. On the contrary, if you go to the rural setup, and suppose like rural means a tier 3 city, and if you're joining a hospital, maybe you can a corporate hospital where there are government schemes running, maybe you will have a comfortable life, you will get good amount of work, and you will have help at hand. Private practice in rural areas, I think you will have to put in a lot of hard work because you will have to prove yourself there.
True. That's true. That's definitely, it's with super specialization that gets easier in comparatively if you want to get settled in the metros. So now when you clearly mentioned what is the difference between settling as a general surgeon in the metros as well as in the rural areas. So what do you think so according to you, after general surgery, you should plan to settle down in your hometown, whether in a smaller state? Is this what you want to suggest people?
No, I basically after MS general surgery, I think that because of these modern times, everybody is very, very well informed. Nowadays, I find people coming for circumcision to me, people coming for hydrocele to me, even sometimes people with hernia are coming to me because they check it online and then they say that circumcision is best done by a urologist. So because he is a genitourinary surgeon. So
Yes.
with these evolving times, I think it is going to become difficult. So
Hmm.
for all the young general surgeons, I think it is better if you do a super specialization. It is not like that super specialization is the only end game, but then there are a lot of different options which we'll talk about. But then I think that if you can, and if you have access to doing a super specialty, you should get into it and finish off your super specialization, because times 20 years from now, everybody is going to look for a super specialist only. If you look at urology now, even post MCH, people are doing pediatric urology, uro-oncology, uro-andrology. So it's after super specialization, there is further subspecialization.
Yes.
So this is how times are changing. And
Yes.
especially in metros, people will look for the best hands.
True. True. That's perfect. That's correctly said. So you just mentioned that there, after the, after completing the general surgery, there are also different ways to get into a better practice, like fellowships and all. If you don't want to go for,
Yes.
what are those kind of fellowships that you will like to suggest people to do?
Yeah. Like after you finish your general surgery, I would recommend that it depends upon how your training has been in your MS general surgery. If your training has been pretty good and you're pretty confident of your open skills, then you can straight away move on to a step ahead in laparoscopy. But if you feel that you have done it from some college where the hands-on was not very good and you're not confident of independently doing the laparotomy or such open procedures like a hernioplasty, then you must go to a peripheral center or a rural center. You must, where there, or in a urban center where there's good amount of workload, आपके हाथ अच्छे कर लो, means surgery is basically a volume game. So the
Yes,
more you do, the better your hands become.
definitely.
Once you are perfect in your open surgery, then you can go for fellowships. So the
Yes.
most common fellowship that people do is laparoscopic, that is minimally invasive surgery. You also, I think everybody knows World Laparoscopy Center. So there are so many laparoscopy centers. Then nowadays, bariatric surgery is also very in. A lot of fitness awareness, and there are a lot of people who want to lose weight, people who want to get rid of diabetes. So there are many centers, even in Calcutta, we know there are many centers like ILS where a lot of good amount of bariatric surgery is going on. So
Yes.
people who want to get into bariatric surgery, they do MS, do a fellowship in minimally invasive, they can do their FNB and then move on to bariatric surgery.
Definitely.
Then there are also cancer reconstructive surgeries. Then there is colorectal surgery. CMC Vellore offers a fellowship in colorectal surgery. Actually, my brother has done that. He's done a fellowship in colorectal surgery.
Okay.
And so there are a lot of fellowships which you can do. You can specialize in burns management. So if you don't want to invest another 3 years in say not 3 years, actually 1 year, you'll have to prepare for it. There's no guarantee that you'll get it in 1 year.
Yes, yes.
So you take 1 to 2 years of preparation and 3 years of investing into it. So approximately 5 years. If you don't want to waste so much of time and you want to settle fast in life, I think that is what you can do. You can take up a fellowship at a good place and then get into it. I think any stream you can do well. You just need the dedication and the hard work. Hard work is very important.
Yes, that is so, that goes everywhere. That is something we were just discussing, that hard work is something that you have to put in anyhow, wherever you are.
Yes.
So now, after you mentioned that these are the kind of fellowships a person can do, as we were before discussing about the rural places, the settling down in rural places, you being a urologist are also there in Gandhidham, not in a metro, despite the the need of urologists in metros these days, and maximum hospitals, I believe, need urologists. All the super specializations are there in metros because they get that kind of environment to work, the proper kind of instruments and everything, your kind of work. Why did you choose to settle down in a rural place despite after doing your super specializations?
Yeah, actually, the fact is that my entire family settled in Calcutta.
Okay.
And everybody is in Calcutta. Mom, dad, brother, sister-in-law, all of them are surgeons. All of them are in Calcutta. I was working when I was working as a final year resident in MS, I got married. And it usually happens that after marriage, these couples will be staying apart, studying at different places. So I was staying in Bangalore for 3 years. My wife was in Darjeeling for 3 years. So we had spent very less amount of time together. And when I got this, I saw this place in Gandhidham. It's basically a Sterling Group unit. I realized that the hospital is good enough. All the equipments were there. All the latest and good equipments were there. Laser was there. So I realized, why not enjoy life as well and do work? The amount of workload was good. So when I came here, I realized that I can work, I can spend time with my family, which we had not done post-marriage. So
Yes.
that was the chief reason for me coming to Gandhidham. But Gandhidham has overall a very peaceful life. So it's otherwise good. It's peaceful. You can work, you can enjoy with your family. and
Hmm.
definitely Gujarat is vibrant. So
Yes, yes, yes.
enjoying my time presently here. I don't know what's going to happen in future, but presently I'm enjoying Gujarat.
So what do you want? What are your future plans? Do you plan to move as, do you aim to, or you dream to move to the metros to
See,
practice?
I have realized one thing here, that the mentality here amongst people is that suppose I want to do a surgery, say we do radical cystectomies, we do radical prostatectomies, we do radical nephrectomies. So when these patients come in and they find that they have to pay around 1.5 to 2 lakhs here for a major surgery, then they have this mentality in mind कि यार यहाँ क्यों कराएं, फिर अहमदाबाद ही जाते हैं ना. So that mentality is there. So that is one mentality which makes me think कि नहीं यार, I think being in a metro, working there will be a better option.
Yes.
Will be a better option, because I face this many a times where people come in and they are like, okay, जब मुझे यहाँ पे 2-2.5 लाख देने हैं तो इससे अच्छा मैं अहमदाबाद में कराता हूँ, वहाँ पे भी उतना ही आएगा. So that I think sometimes that is why people, or otherwise people often tend to come with Yojana ke cards or government ke cards, which actually makes life difficult for us, because then your hands are tied and you cannot use everything, or you cannot give the best to the patient, because when your resources are limited, of course the things that you're using also becomes limited. So eventually I think if you see the initial part of life where you want to settle down, complete your family, working in rural setup is good, because you'll be able to work, you'll be able to spend time with the family, you can do anything else that you want, you can fulfill your dreams. And then eventually I think moving to a urban center or a metropolitan city is a good idea.
Which you are also planning to do, maybe.
I really don't know. Maybe if I get something good, I might do that. But as of now, I'm in Gandhidham and I'm enjoying it.
Okay. Good to know that. So now, when you just mentioned, how is your lifestyle as a urologist as a urologist, just if somebody wants to, when we just mentioned that super specialization in different fields, it is something that will help them to settle down in metros. If you want to give a brief insight in urology as a branch, what will you suggest people who think that urology is good for them? What is the kind of lifestyle that you face? What are the kind of challenges that you feel are there in urology?
Yeah. See, urology is basically a cool branch. So the only emergency that we get sometimes is trauma, and otherwise the most common emergency is acute urinary retention. So that can be handled by a medical officer. If there's a good medical officer and you train him, he can do everything from catheterization to SPCs. So the number of emergencies come down. It is more of endoscopic surgery, unlike GI surgery where you do laparotomies or you do bowel reconstructions or bowel anastomosis. So you have to keep the patient long in the hospital for 5-6 days. Urology is not like that. Even if I do a PCNL, I do a ureteroscopy, I do a bladder stone, I can discharge the patient in 1 or 2 days and the patient goes back happy. So that is what gives you a lot of job satisfaction. You do a TURP or discharge the patient on day 3 after catheter removal, he voids well, he's happy. So there is a lot of job satisfaction, number 1. Number 2, very few emergencies, so hardly I get night calls. Sometimes when I do get, it's actually interesting and we enjoy doing it. Third thing is that you will actually get time to pursue what you want. Like I was always fond of working out, or being a little fitness aware, which was not possible all these years because life during our post-graduation life in St. John's was so hectic. We used to start at 7:30 and by the time we used to finish our work at 10, it was not possible. So that was another reason that brought me to Gandhidham, because it's a small place. So traveling, we don't waste time in traveling at all. Basically, I start from home when my anesthetist tells me that patient has been shifted. So that is the kind of luxury that I'm enjoying here, which is not possible in a metropolitan city.
Definitely.
So metropolitan city, if I have to work at 9, I have to leave my house by 8. Yes. So all that is there.
Yes.
So
yes.
So that is definitely one thing. So lifestyle as a urologist is cool. You will be able to spend time with your family, and if you are in a tier 2 or a tier 3 city where traveling will not waste too much of your time, it's like a cherry on the cake.
Yes, definitely. You're absolutely correct with that. With metros, the biggest problem is traveling. You waste so much of time in just commuting from here to there.
Yes,
definitely. But so when you mentioned that there are no emergencies in this branch, was this the factor that you picked this
It's
branch?
like not no emergencies, fewer emergencies. I cannot say no emergencies.
Yes,
There are fewer emergencies. If you compare it to general surgery or you compare it to neurosurgery, where you
there are a
always
lot.
have to be on your toes, comparatively, there are fewer emergencies.
Comparatively, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
Good,
yes.
good. So it's, so if somebody wants to pick up urology, you will give a thumbs up to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's an evolving branch with a lot of a vast plethora has still to be explored. We have andrology. Andrology is actually not explored. There are very few people who do andrology, like Dr. Rupin Shah in Bombay. He's like one of the pioneers of andrology in India. There are a few other people. So I am. Basically, I keep listening to all their lectures also, because andrology is one branch where not too many urologists get inside. And similarly, there is uro-oncology, pediatric urology. So there are a lot of places where you can go inside and you can subspecialize in that branch.
Yes.
And it has latest evolving technologies, newer instruments, laser technology, holmium laser. So if you are a person who's tech savvy, you will actually enjoy being in urology.
Okay, okay. So that's nice to, that's, you ended with a nice thing. If you are a tech savvy, urology is something that you will enjoy with the upcoming, new technologies and new things with the branch.
Yes.
This is really nice to know. So now, when if somebody is no, after general surgery, after MBBS, is not sure to pick up general surgery and is unsure, is there any motivating words that you want to tell them to motivate them to do that?
Before I tell you those motivational words, I just like to say that there's one thing in life that we must not look at the journey. We must look at the destination. So
Yes,
if I was looking at the journey of this 15-year-long MBBS, MS, MCH, then I would have been really scared. But right from internship, I was looking at the degree of MCH, Euro, Andro, and renal transplant. So if you look at the destination, your journey will be beautiful. But if you keep looking at the journey, you will be tired. There is no substitute to hard work. So finally ending with these quotes, these are the favorite words of my mom. She's also a gynecologist. She always used to say, the flights attained by great men were not achieved by sudden flights. They, while their friends were sleeping, were toiling upwards in the sky. So whenever I feel tired, I remember these words and I like, no, Gautam, come on, we can do it. You will do it. So
yes,
just keep
yes,
trying, keep looking at the destination and you will reach there.
definitely. This is something which is so inspiring. For me as well, you correctly said, the at times when you look at the journey, you feel really tired that it's so much of hard work. But when you think about the destination, you get all the courage to, because you have to reach there. And that's so true. So everyone out there who all want to be a urologist like him, or want to get into any super specialization that you have always dreamt to, and not able to take decisions and getting unsure, just think about your destination. Just think how you can get settled as a successful doctor in the metro and build your name, build your practice. And I'm sure you will get all the courage, all the strength to do that hard work and reach there wherever you want to. Thank you so much, doctor, for giving this amazing discussion and this amazing insight. This is something which is so motivating, and I'm sure the students who are at that edge of deciding that whether they should pick up or not pick up, and confused, this will help them to just get through that edge and understand that this is it I want to do, and just do it. And you have to just take decision and do it, and you will achieve whatever you want to do. This is the difference of achievers and non-achievers. If you decide and jump off, you will achieve. That's all, sir also mentioned, and that's it that I also believe in. Thank you so much for this
Thank
amazing, insightful, discussion, and especially the ending motivational words by your mother. That's the
you.
cherry on the cake, actually. So all of you, I'm sure you must be motivated by his discussion. This is something that every MBBS student after his MBBS goes through, the confusion, what to pick up, what not to pick up. And there are very less people who are very clear. Most of them are confused and go through, by their peer pressure, or listening to their friends or somebody or elder who has done that. You need to understand what you want to do and just go and do that, because this is something that that you have always wished to do. Getting into MBBS is also something that I believe only you get into because you dream to be a doctor. You do not go because it's just, you just cleared, you just prepared and cleared the PMTs and went through. So just decide what you want to do and do it. And I'm sure this speech will help you, this discussion will help you to get through that confusion and go and achieve whatever you want to. Thank you so much everyone for listening to us, for understanding what all you can do even after being a general surgeon in metros, in rurals. How can you practice? How can you be one of the best surgeons in your place and achieve the best for your career, for your life? So we have some really interesting discussions also coming this Wednesday and this Sunday. So stay tuned. Also, for all our old discussions as well as this one, I will be uploading tomorrow on our YouTube as well as Instagram page. You can find all our old discussions also there. So if you want to view any of those, please do go to our YouTube and Instagram page, subscribe and follow us, and I'm sure you can find all of them there. Thank you so much everyone for viewing this. Thank you so much, Doctor. I'm really happy that we had this discussion on a Sunday morning too, especially on a Dussehra, where yes, I'm sure everybody is there at home listening to you and understanding that the positive vibes and the positive thinking, it needs to be there to just clear off all the negative thoughts and the negative vibes around. This is what is Dussehra, and this is all about our culture as in our country, that having positive mindset leads to achieving all your goals. Thank you so much, Doctor, and thank you everyone. Happy Dussehra to all. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and I'm sure everybody is getting back to work from tomorrow. So yes. So enjoy your day today. Have a happy day with your family, and stay tuned for our upcoming interviews. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.